Welcome back to another Cuphead video. Today we are going to be completing the entirety of Cuphead, start to finish, on expert mode without dashing once. We're not going to use the dash button at all. I unbound it so I don't even do it by accident. This challenge was actually a lot harder than I thought it'd be. Did not think it'd be that hard. So I do hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much for 100 subscribers. Thank you so much, and please enjoy. So we start like any other run on Goopy Le Grande. For Goopy Le Grande, I picked the crack shot and the roundabout. We mostly do use the roundabout though, and for our charm we got the life heart. As you can see, I have 4 instead of 3. Now this boss was shockingly difficult because of this part. Once we get him halfway and he starts to do his parry and transform into the big version of him, he gets really difficult to fit under, and you don't realize till you can't dash how hard it is to actually run under him. So much so that this took me 2 or 3 tries to actually beat, and yeah, it's the easiest boss in the game. Now, yeah, I say it was kind of difficult. It really still wasn't that hard. As you can see, we're on his 3rd phase. I didn't get hit, but it's still something. So once he get crushes by this, we jump up and we use our super art just to deal the most amount of damage that we possibly can, and then we do take him out. Alright, here we are on the root pack. Now, something nice about the root pack is that it doesn't matter what challenge you add, they're never going to be that hard. Obviously, the potato man shoots out his dirt and then his parryable worm. Then we just shoot him as much as we can. It only takes like 2 to 3 cycles to get rid of him. It's never difficult. For the onion, we set up a lobber trap where we just shoot straight up so then the lobber can bounce a few times and then they all hit him at once just to deal a ton of extra damage. And like the onion is always easy. We're just going to use an EX and then look out for his teardrops at top. And then we do take him out pretty quickly. Now, the 3rd phase, aka the only difficult phase, is with the carrot. So we spam our EXs off the start, and then once he does like his own mind control carrots, it's actually really hard to get under them. So we do end up taking a hit during this fight, but it's still pretty easy and we do take him out. And here we are on one of my favorite boss fights, the Ribby and Croaks boss. Now on expert mode, because yeah, we are doing all these boss fights on expert mode, this boss is genuinely difficult because they combo both of their attacks together, leading it to be like shockingly hard that you wouldn't expect. As you can see, he's doing his fireflies and he's doing his flaming fist both at the same time, and we do get hit there because I just used an EX, but it was stupid. But if we damage them enough in the 1st phase, their 2nd phase is a lot shorter. So as you see, he's going to go over to the left side, and this part is normally pretty difficult for me. Not this part, but when he does the fist while he's blowing, it's normally really difficult to beat. But since we did enough damage, we can skip that and go straight to the 3rd and the final phase, which is just something that's really nice. For the 3rd phase, we roll tigers for the first one, which is the bouncing balls. Easily the hardest one. I don't know if that's just for me, but then you add dashing on top of it, and you see that we got hit twice during that one phase. And then for the next part, we get bulls. Bulls is pretty easy. Just stay at one end and then just spray as much as we can. But none of them are really that bad, and once we roll again, we will get the bulls, and then we just spray into him until we kill him. Then we are on to Hildeberg, and you might think, plane fights are easy. There's no dashing. It shouldn't be any different. You're wrong. The Y button, or your dash button, is also the button they use to shrink. Shrinking gives you really good movement. So these bosses without good movement lead them to be very hard, and I believe that Hildeberg was the boss I spent the longest time on. As you can see, with the twins, if their ball starts in the wrong spot, you're going to get hit because you just can't move fast enough. But the twins are still pretty easy, so then we can move on to the angel, the one that actually gives me trouble. And in expert mode, we always have to look out for those green guys because they just shoot like 6 spread shots, really difficult. With the angel, aka the one I struggle with the most, I do tend to use my super, which I do right here. I use my super right on him just to deal the most amount of damage, although I am pretty sure it missed. Once we damage him enough and then damage Hildeberg again, she's going to start to go crazy, and she'll morph into her moon, which is her final phase. This was a little bit difficult because when the UFOs come into play, and there's ones that you have to go through quickly, like this red one right here, it is a little bit hard that if you pull back on the left stick at all, you're going to get hit. So we use our super again just to get through as fast as we can and take her out. Okay, here we are on Cagney Carnation. Now, Cagney Carnation, the final boss of Iguana 1, isn't that bad. The hardest part is at the very beginning when he's doing the bullet hell. Now we have the heart ring on, so every parry can like give us extra hearts. So we just try to parry as much as we can in the 1st phase until we inevitably do enough damage to bring her to the 2nd phase. And the 2nd phase does have difficulty because of these brown little carrots. See, when they line up bad like this and I can't dash over them, I'm like guaranteed to get hit. But it's fine, you know, it's still not that bad. So we do bring her to her 3rd phase where we're really not parrying that much. So we just use our super, dashing. So we just use our super, and then we do take her out pretty easily. Okay, now it is time for Baroness Von Bon Bon, the candy lady. So for her goons, we get EDP, the candy corn, and the little gumball machine. All of them pretty easy, as you know. But in our final phase, when she grabs the reins on her thing and she starts chucking her head at you while you're looking out for the peppermint, it's actually kind of difficult because you don't realize how much you have to dash around her head. In expert, she can send two, so we do use her super just to get her as weak as possible and make the boss fight easier. We do get hit, but we do have the heart ring, so we just parry to get it back, and then we do take her out. Djimmi. Let me tell you something about this boss fight. It was anything but great. It was terrible. I hated it. It took so many attempts because I didn't realize how much I used the Ghost Smile, and it also just sucked on expert mode anyway. So as you see, we're looking out for his little things here. We're parrying him when possible. We have the heart ring on, and then we go to the second phase. Second phase is difficult because with the saw blades, you're really going small a lot, and you don't realize it. But we're just using our lobber to one-shot them and just going through the hole. Obviously, we can't go small. On these doubles, we hit both of them because it deals more damage. And then we do get through it pretty easily. Then is third phase. It's the easiest playing phase possible because you sit in this little spot and you just won't get hit. You know, you can move a little bit just to like adjust your trajectory, but trust me, you won't get hit. It's crazy easy. So obviously we take him out as well. Then once we get to his little doll, we use a super because it's the hardest phase for me, and then we just look out for what he's shooting. We parry when possible to get more hearts, but you know, it's kind of the same as always. We're just looking out. It's really hard when you can't go small because I got pinned just like there, so I can't move very fast. And then if he shoots and then the hat shoots at the same time, they add up, and it can be really difficult to actually like get around and stop yourself from getting him. So that's why the Djimmi gave me so much trouble. The amount of times I got here and lost was crazy. But eventually he does go down, and then we move on to probably like the easiest part of his boss fight, the last phase, which is funny. But you just stand next to him and just spray into him, and you mostly won't get hit by the pyramids. Obviously, you know, use your super when you can just to deal more damage. But with all that, he's pretty easy, and we can take him out. Alright, we are moving weirdly fast with these. Here we are on Wally Warbles, one of the hardest expert mode bosses, strictly because of his first phase. Everything was fast. His eggshell attack is stupid because it just shoots at 5 and it's so hard to dodge, it sucks. So, we make the return of the heart ring because it is really good apparently. I found that out on this boss. We just hit him as much as we can. Like, it just sucks. I hate this boss so much. We just move when we can, do our best not to get hit, and we just do whatever until we get him to his second phase. Second phase is pretty easy. It's just a bullet hell. You just go up and down. Yeah, the hardest part about this phase is finding windows to hit him, but we do get enough to kill him. We did get hit during it, but now we go on to his little sun here, which is pretty difficult. So you just stay out close to him, use your super. When it's big, you stay close. When it's small, you stay far. Whenever he shoots out his laser, it's a 100% chance to be a parryable, so you just always look for that because it's free hearts when you're using the heart ring. But it's just a kid at the end of the day, you know, it's not too bad. Shoot when you can, don't die when you can. It's that easy. But we hit the final parry, and then once you kill him enough, you get a parry again to bring us to 4 hearts on his last phase. Now his last phase is easy provided he goes to the right. If he goes to the left first, I find it really difficult because I just get pinched. But when he goes to the right, I don't know what it is. If like the attacks are different, I just find it easier. Use the lobber shot when you can because this phase is designed for the lobber because you get the lobber right before this. And then when you can't, you just go really low. Here we are on Grim Matchstick, which wasn't that bad. You know why it wasn't that bad? Because you use the damn lobber. If you use the lobber, it's a really easy boss fight because it's perfect. He takes up half the screen in all phases. It does a ton of damage. It's just good. Again, with the heart ring, I never realized how good this was. We do bring the roundabout as well, but we're not using it that much. We're just looking for parries here for obviously extra hearts. Makes it a little bit easier. We do get through with 5 hearts before we put him into his second phase. Second phase, you know, it's easy. He's just going to shoot his little fire minions. You get through it quick. No one cares. It's the third phase that's actually difficult. Some advice I can give for the third phase is always keep shooting. Some people don't want to shoot because if you hit one of those little fire things, then it's going to explode and make it more difficult. Trust me, you have him really weak. Just stay shooting. Use your super. Like, you'll get through it in no time. I got S rank, by the way. Not to brag, but I'm better. With the mild flex out of the way for my S rank, we can move on to Inkwell Isle 3. On to the Queen Bee. Now the Queen Bee, again, the lobber is really good here, especially on the first phase with the cop and the heart ring. Really good. When you can't dash, you can't use smoke bomb or chalice. Man, that heart ring goes far. So We use the heart ring a lot here just to get as many parries as we can to bring us to 5 hearts before our second phase. In her second phase, it's mostly easy. In this instance, she drops down the center first, and she's just going to shoot these little missiles left and right, just depending on what side you're on. And then we just look out for them. They're normally pretty easy, but we do, get rid of it. Then she'll come down the right, and she'll start shooting her little pink parryable balls. Again, it's pretty easy. Just move around. I did get hit. Get off me. She'll do her missile attack again. And then once we have that, we're going to use her super to deal a bunch of damage. And then she'll start to come through the middle, or we just spray on her, because you can damage her here. It is technically counted as her third phase. So if you do a lot of damage, switch to the roundabout for more damage, and it just works out good. Then we go to the lobber again, just shoot her in the center, and then it's not too bad. You just shoot as much as you can, and she'll die. I don't know about you, but I smell a rat. Sorry. Anyway, here we are on the rat. Again, we're here with the heart ring because, it's free parries. So we're just going to parry whenever we could here. We got 2, so then 1 more and we get the extra heart. And then we'll just plow into him as much as you can. His attacks are always pretty easy, so you can get through the first phase incredibly quickly. And you just spam as much as you can with the roundabout. In his second phase, it is a little bit more difficult. Obviously, in this boss fight, dashing isn't that important. But you can just spray into him as much as you can, looking out for when he uses his bottle caps. We did get hit a few times there, just out of my own mistakes. But then once we're in the third phase and he turns into the guy, it gets pretty easy again. This is probably the hardest part when he sends out all of his old ghosts, because if you don't have a super ready, they're kind of hard and they can stack up. But they're never that bad again, so we just build up enough till we have a super, get an extra heart, use our super, and then we just take him out. Alright, and now it is time for Brinybeard. Brinybeard, again, really not that hard of a boss. You just go in, there's lots of parries, so the heart ring is really useful. And then we'll kind of just stick close to him as much as we can and just spray into him. I'm going to go over this boss fight quick because it is really boring. But once you do get him weak enough, he's going to get a little rumble in his tummy and he's going to, kill him. And then his ship turns on you and he's going to start shooting the fireballs. You just jump over them whenever you can. It's not that hard. You duck under the laser, naturally. I didn't. But, you should, and then you take him out. Now it is time for Cala Maria, one of my favorite bosses for certain reasons. Anyway, this boss fight, again, it's pretty easy. Not being able to go small kind of sucks, but she just summons her minions, and then, she'll change her minions. Like, here we got the red fish, and then another time we'll get, the puffer fish floating from the top. It's not that bad. Parry when you can, damage when you can, heart ring on top. And then she'll eventually get struck by these electric eels, bringing her into her second phase. Her second phase is actually kind of difficult, but it's good when you're on controller, because when she freezes you, you just spin your sticks in circles. Then you'll get out pretty quick, because you need 20-something inputs in order to get out. And then they just stack it up. But, you can do a lot of damage really easily, bringing her to her third and final phase. Her third phase is definitely the most difficult. Again, whenever you get frozen, just spin your sticks. It's going to make it way easier to get out. Stay towards the back, so then you don't, purposely or accidentally get hit by anything. Time when you're gonna get frozen and take her out. Alright, and here we are on Sally's Stageplay, probably the most boring boss in Awhile 3, but it's whatever. So we're gonna run around using our roundabout shot as much as we can, just avoiding her naturally. Once you use her kiss, we're gonna parry it for the extra heart, because heart ring on top. I don't know if I said that in this video, but once you deal enough damage, you will get her to her second phase, where she runs away with her husband. In her second phase, you're going to go to the adoption agency, or the little house here where the babies are going to start throwing stuff at you. I used a crackshot EX there. I don't really know why I didn't do much. But, I brought the crackshot as well because it's good in the last phase. Once she sends out her little rats, you just jump over them, wait for them to fall. And, you just deal enough damage to bring her to her next phase. In her third phase, once she becomes the angel, this is the one where no dashing really affected me. I stand under her like normal and shoot up, and then when the meteor comes out, normally you break the meteor and then she's going to send the big wave and you dash over it. Now it's really difficult to get over it, but I did it first try, which shocked me because I thought it was going to be really difficult. Anyway, once you kill her again, she'll be in her last phase where you want to use your crack shot because it's just going to lock onto her, and then you'll just look out for her umbrella and you'll take her out. I don't know if you realized how I'm doing these bosses out of the order, but here we are on the robot. Now, traditionally, for me, I like to take out the top of the robot first, then we'll move on to the bottom of the robot, then I do the middle robot, and then I take out his heart, and then in his second phase here with our 5 hearts, I'm going to use my super, so then we just have to hit him once or twice with the lobber, and then he dies. And then when we're finally on the last phase, I just spray into him as much as I can. I do get hit a few times, but you know, not that many. Then we do take him out. Here we are on the Railroad Wrath. That's right, the Phantom Express. So we just spray into him as much as we can. I brought the chaser for the shot. We spray into him till he dies. I don't like this boss, so I'm just going to go over it fast. Once we kill him, we're going to move the train a little bit into the second part where we're just going to shoot up at him a little bit. You know, you just get him weak, and then he's going to switch to a different spot where you do the same thing. You actually don't have to move the railroad. The rail cart, you can just stay on the side and you'll dodge sands. But we do kill him. Shocker. It was very difficult. And then we move on to the twins here, where we're going to spread the left one first, because this is one I like to do. And then once he starts to shoot, we'll move the rail cart and just shoot up at the right one as much as we can to kill them both. Once they're both dead, we'll move again, get hit, and we'll switch to our chaser shot, and we'll just spray into him once we get his heart open. And then you just do that a bunch, use your super obviously, and you'll take him out pretty quickly. Mr. King Dice. This boss fight was really difficult because there's certain ones that aren't possible without dashing, such as the cigar. But we got a good run here. So obviously we get our life up here, and then we go take out the poker chips. You know, easy. Then the dice, then the 8-ball, and then we got really unlucky here, or I'm bad. And then start over, wasting my super out of just frustration. But it's fine. We kill the tipsy trio, and then we can finally land on King Dice. And then we just go over to the side, we do this strategy, shoot up at him, and he wasn't that difficult. Here we are on the Devil, the final boss of No Dash. This boss actually gave me a little bit of difficulty, and it's because of this attack right here. Normally I jump and I dash over it to like stall, but you can't because you can't dash. So it actually gave it a little bit of difficulty, but once he does his snake attack, it's not that bad. Then he does his go attack again, where we use an EX to stall in the air for a little bit longer, just to make it a little bit easier on me. Once he does like his little fire jump rope thing, we get pinned right against the corner where normally you'll dash out, but no, you can't. So you see here, I'm gonna get pinned and then I can't dash out, so I just get hit. It's whatever. Looking out for his little Spider-Man, we do enough wasting EX, and then he just goes down into his second phase, which actually, isn't that bad. So in his second phase, when we're down below, we're just gonna sit here and spam him. He's gonna send out the little axe. You just barely move, and then you'll be fine. Always look out for the thing that's falling. And then we have the parry ring on, so we hit as many parries as we can for extra hearts. As you see, we parried twice there. So we got our extra heart, bring us up to 2. Now we're on the third phase, which still isn't the one that gave me the trouble. It was the last phase, where we're gonna take out his henchman, then wait for the bat to spawn, and then we use our super here to take out the henchman and the bats, and do a lot of damage to him to bring him into his final phase. Here in his final phase, it's really difficult because I lost the most here. Since I can't dash, I can't like jump around and stall, but we do take it out on this run. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This one took a while to make with beating the challenge and editing it, so I do hope you like. If you did like the video, subscribe and whatever. Sorry for the wait. It took me a while to edit this video, and thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.